Welcome, and I'm glad that you've joined me today. Every experience begins with a thought, and our experience changes when we change that thought. Today, I would first like to open with this prayer. As I move into greater understanding of who I really am and greater understanding of who I want to be, help me to have the courage to become it. Help me to trust in that which created me uniquely so that I can invest without reservation in myself and in that which is important to me. Help me to see light for what it really is, a blessing, a gift, an honor, so that I can be it fully, completely, and live a life that reflects light in every way. In this series, we'll focus on the thoughts and emotions relating to special meridian points located along the sides of the spine, corresponding to the vertebrae. They are called Huatuojiaji points, and each point connects to specific areas of your body and your nervous system. We will be working on opening these Huatuojiaji points along the spine to increase qi flow and activation of the nervous system, so that your body has access to the life force and information that it needs to heal itself. I will help you to do this through Qigong healing and the use of forgiveness and affirmations. As I begin this meditation today, and due to the nature of this particular area, I will first open with the healing maxim of Pengu Shingon. So open your hands in the receiving position and receive this maxim as I send healing energy through it. Take kindness and benevolence as basis. Take frankness and friendliness to heart. Speak with reason, treat with courtesy, act with emotion, and accomplish results. Now take a deep breath. I will continue to use this Qigong maxim to cultivate qi to send to you through this meditation, even if you're listening at another time. Thoracic 8, or T8, is connected to the pancreas, and combined with T7, it can be an effective treatment for diabetes, sugar regulation, and lowering the need for insulin. Opening the T8 point is also good for cancers of the blood, the bone marrow, the pancreas, and the skin. Hodgkin's disease and leukemia are also treatable with opening T8. Look for a knot on the right side of T8, and this could be an indicator that you need this meditation for today. It is difficult to open T8 alone. To effectively correct the above issues, so it is advised to cultivate qi through Qigong practice and fasting. If you want to learn more about these two, contact me for more information. I prefer Pengu Shingon Qigong, and will be using it today in this meditation. T8 on the left side is also linked to the ability to swallow, to take in life, heartburn, and tightness of the throat. When it is blocked, it can inhibit the flow of the solar plexus chakra and our ability to be grounded and take in the sweet and beautiful moments of life. By clearing the stagnant energy in each point and infusing it with life force energy, your body will have what it needs to correct and harmonize any dysfunction that has accumulated over the years. We will focus on beliefs that your mind is ready to embrace or release, where it is ready for change, for progress, and for transformation. Embrace these thoughts. Feel them deep within your body, your mind, and your soul, and allow them to penetrate deep into your heart, because you are absolutely worthy of every virtue. You are worthy of every life-giving belief. And as you hear these statements and let them into your heart, they will transform you gently, profoundly, and bring greater and higher good in your life. So take a deep breath, and we will start. Place one hand on your chest and the other hand on your solar plexus, the area between your lower ribs and your belly button. If you have magnets, you can place them in the same location with the blue or the north side facing up, or you can use crystals of your choosing. A crystal pad is also useful on the solar plexus. So take a deep breath and close your eyes. Imagine looking into a mirror, looking into your eyes and talking directly into your soul. In this moment, speak this maxim to yourself with the care and compassion you would give to the most apprehensive of beings. So repeat after me. Take kindness and benevolence as basis. Take frankness and friendliness to heart. Speak with reason, treat with courtesy, act with emotion, and accomplish results. Now let's say it one more time. This time we will speak it into the T8 vertebrae. Picture it in your mind and increase the life force with honest kindness and respect for the importance and place and function of this vertebrae. So take kindness and benevolence as basis. Take frankness and friendliness to heart. Speak with reason, treat with courtesy, act with emotion, and accomplish results. We will breathe after each statement, consciously creating new pathways of response and allowing the energy to freely and lovingly flow. So carefully listen to each statement and try to repeat after me in your mind. I give myself permission to bring up and address the unconscious beliefs that have kept me stuck in patterns of response that bring harm to myself and others. Breathe. I give myself permission to forgive the people and institutions that have influenced my beliefs when they have encouraged distorted ideas, even when they believed it was good. Breathe. I forgive those in my life experience so far who intentionally or unintentionally caused me harm because of their own broken and distorted interpretations of life. Breathe. I forgive myself for my incorrect interpretation of the love and care offered to me by those who truly wanted to show love. And breathe. I ask others to forgive me when I have hurt or caused harm because of my mistaken interpretation of reality. Breathe. I forgive myself for any resistance I have towards embracing all that is good, lovely, and precious. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that miraculous transformation, healing, change, and opportunities only happen after long, toiling effort, self-degradation, or that they don't happen for me. Breathe. I embrace all opportunities, gifts, and love that flow to me without hesitation or skepticism, but with thankfulness and gratitude. Breathe. I give myself permission to surrender and allow for the highest and greatest good to come to me, transform me, and remake me. Breathe. I forgive myself for distorting my alignment with myself, with the great Creator, and with great nature, because I do not know my true self. Breathe. I give myself permission to accept my true self and clear the blockages that keep me distorted in my physical health, my emotional health, my social health, and my spiritual health. Breathe. I give myself permission to take responsibility for whatever comes into my presence with gratitude and calmness. Breathe. I forgive myself for knowingly or unknowingly creating the emotional and physical patterns that block my flow and connection to myself, heaven, earth, or humanity. Breathe. I give myself permission to grow and evolve by giving up the stories of the past so that the universe can write new ones. Breathe. I love and accept myself now as I begin to understand and accept the corrections to any false programming and beliefs I might have received in my lifetime. Breathe. I love and accept myself as I align myself to think and feel in the way the universe thinks and feels, accepting the miracles that flow through me, around me, above me, and below me. And breathe. I love and accept that the universe is highly flexible, and I can be too, because when I'm flexible, which is in harmony with the universe, I am open to the infinite possibilities, and then possibilities will appear. Breathe. I forgive myself for overthinking and obsessing about all the failures and mistakes that I have experienced in the past. Breathe. I forgive myself for perpetuating failure so that I can justify my resistance to receiving and giving good things. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that if I continue to fail, it will prove that I am unsupported and unloved. And breathe. I forgive myself for the mistakes of the past that I still hold on to, believing that keeping them alive is the punishment I deserve. Breathe. I forgive myself for keeping alive the mistakes of others, believing it is a way to punish them or gain dominance over them. Breathe. I forgive myself for my anger and frustration because life seems to have lost its sweetness. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I am a victim and I am powerless to create my own sweet life. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that the process of life is out to hurt me. And breathe. I forgive myself for finding ways to outsmart life or to obsess over future events, to be prepared for all adverse possibilities, therefore sucking out all the sweetness that life can provide. And breathe. I forgive myself for spending more time thinking about what could go wrong than spending time in the moment and savoring the precious moments of today. And breathe. I forgive myself for being proud of my dysfunctional views of life that strip away the most pleasant parts of being human. And breathe. I forgive myself for preferring sugar and sweets to genuine love and connection. Breathe. I forgive others who taught me to replace love and connection with personal indulgence. Breathe. I forgive myself for rigidly sticking to my dysfunction, even if it costs me my life. Breathe. I forgive myself for being afraid to do things differently. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing I have to control everything because no one, not even life itself, has my back. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that if I'm flexible, that it will break me. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that the only way to be safe is to be strong and rigid. And breathe. I forgive myself for being immovable in the dance of life. And breathe. I forgive myself for blaming others for the consequences of my rigid thinking. Breathe. I forgive myself for all the times I have been irritated, angry, and annoyed because life didn't happen in the way I believed it should. Breathe. I forgive myself for not choosing to live peacefully and in harmony with my environment. And breathe. I forgive myself for longing for what might have been. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I need to control everything or else I'll die. And breathe. I forgive myself for allowing deep sorrow to consume me, keeping me from enjoying the beauty in each and every day. And breathe. I forgive myself for worrying about so many things that I can't see the joy anymore. And breathe. I forgive myself for restricting the flow of joy in me and around me. And breathe. I forgive myself for being afraid of new things, new ideas, new opportunities, when I don't know for sure if they will benefit me or harm me. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing I would rather die than take a chance and fail. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that failure holds no good. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that restricting joy is better than failure. And breathe. I forgive myself for allowing deep hurts, long-standing resentments, grief, and secrets to eat away at me. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing it is better to give up than reveal my true unexpressed feelings. Breathe. I forgive myself for carrying hatreds out of pride and resentment, which bring no resolution to the past issues, except to cause more hurt to myself. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing it is better to die than to love those I hate. And breathe. I forgive myself for torturing myself over and over with the pain of the past instead of loving and accepting myself today. Breathe. I forgive myself for blaming others when I'm afraid that I'm not good enough. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that the only way people will love me is after I have proved myself good enough for their love. And breathe. I forgive myself for forgetting the joy of life in my race to find acceptance. Breathe. I forgive myself for not accepting myself first and being perfectly happy to be me. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that things can never get better. And breathe. I forgive myself for not believing in miracles, even when it seems to me to be impossible. And breathe. I give myself permission to call up and transform, transmute, release and remove all rejection of wisdom, refusal to know or to understand, obsessions with my failures, resisting the good, resentments, blame, misalignment with life, and the denial of my spiritual self for the highest and greatest good of myself and others. And breathe. I now give myself permission to unblock both sides of the Huatuo points of T8, opening and activating the flow of qi and information through T8, communicating freely with all parts of my body, mind, and spirit, and raising the quality of my thoughts. Breathe. I give myself permission to see the past, present, and future clearly and honestly. And breathe. I give myself permission to take responsibility for every aspect of creating the life that supports me and that I love. I give myself permission to gain wisdom through joyfully accepting the experiences of life in all their diversity. And breathe. I give myself permission to release all that keeps me from seeing and hearing the truth. And breathe. Without obsession, blame, resentment, resistance, and denial, I am free to align my life with my spiritual self and the energies of the universe. And breathe. When I am aligned with truth and love, I am free to be open and receptive to all good. Breathe. I am free to believe that the universe loves me and supports me. And breathe. I am free to love and approve of myself. And breathe. I am free to believe that my life is sweet and lovely. Breathe. I am free to create sweetness and joy in my life. Breathe. I am free to trust that the process of life will be there for me. Breathe. I am free to express myself freely and joyously. And breathe. I am free to be flexible in my mind, in my body, and in my soul. Breathe. I am free to enjoy and embrace new experiences every day. Breathe. I am free to easily flow and move in the joyous dance of life. Breathe. I am free to choose to be peaceful and harmonious. Breathe. I am free to choose to experience the sweetness of today. And breathe. I am free to be filled with joy. And breathe. I am free to allow joyous new ideas to circulate throughout me. And breathe. I am free to awaken new life within me. And breathe. I am free to lovingly forgive and release all of the past. And breathe. I am free to be perfectly happy to be me. And breathe. I am free to be good enough just as I am. Breathe. I am free to give and receive with joy. And breathe. I am free to expect miracles every day and recognize them. Breathe. I am free to dissolve the patterns that create disease, and I now accept a divine healing, and so it is. And breathe. I am now free to have the power, strength, and knowledge to handle everything in my life, perfectly aligned and supported in all things. Breathe. With the power of my divine consciousness, I now create connection and harmony with all things in myself and in my world in a way that inspires kindness, friendliness, honesty, and goodwill. Breathe. I give myself permission to flow genuine love and sincere compassion to all that is in my range of influence, including myself, freely offering connection from the brightest place of my heart. Take a deep breath and release all that does not align with truth. You are now creating new alignments, stronger and more powerful beliefs, letting go of stories of the past and creating new supportive and harmonious ones to manifest the peace, happiness, and calm that is divinely gifted to you at all times. And so I leave this blessing with you. May you listen to your longing to be free. May you arise each day with a voice of blessing, whispering in your heart that something good is going to happen to you. And may you allow the wild beauty of the invisible world to gather you, mind you, and embrace you in belonging. So smile and embrace the universe as you go out and start making a positive difference in your world. Thank you.